Flip a switch tonight and you won't think twice about the light flooding your room. It is magic we ignore, but for most of history, that switch did not exist. When the sun set, the world turned into absolute, total, and truly terrifying nighttime darkness. For 300,000 years, being unable to see your hand was just a normal Tuesday night. In that darkness, something was watching you, and it could see perfectly in the night. Your ancestors were right to fear the dark, because in those days, it had teeth. Travel back 2 million years. The truth about early human nights will genuinely disturb you. Before fire and tools, when the sun set, your only rule for survival was hiding. Primates slept high in trees to stay safe, yet even then, nothing was truly secure. There is one predator nobody discusses regarding human history: the leopard. Write that down now. Leopards were likely the greatest predators of early humans, acting as persistent and terrifying specialists. We know this because fossilized human skulls carry the specific pattern of a leopard's bite. Puncture marks on the back of skulls prove exactly what happened to your early ancestors. At South Africa's Cave of Hearths, evidence shows leopards repeatedly dragged human prey inside. We were not at the top of the food chain. We were simply easy menu items. Homo erectus, our ancestor, spent hundreds of thousands of years as dinner, mostly after dark. Imagine spending half of every day in the most dangerous part of your entire existence. Hyenas, lions, and leopards hunted us because they possessed a major advantage: perfect night vision. So, how did we evolve from terrified prey into the species that explored the moon? The answer sits in front of you: fire, controlled by humans a million years ago. Fire changed everything instantly, providing the first safe place to exist in the night. A campfire creates a 30-foot circle of protection. Inside it, predators will not enter. Outside that circle, you are alone. Inside, you are finally, for the first time, untouchable. For the first time in millions of years, humans could actually relax, sit, and breathe. Even today, hunter-gatherer groups know that wandering from the fire remains a serious, lethal risk. Stay in the circle and you are safe. That light is where civilization actually began. Fire protected us, but it also provided something new: extra hours of precious free time. Humans used those hours to gather and tell stories, making the campfire our original theater. Fire added hours to our day, multiplying our cultural growth across many thousands of generations. Polly Wiesner found that during the day, humans spoke mostly of practical, boring logistical work. Around the fire at night, conversation transformed into myths, adventures, jokes, and incredible stories. Culture was born around a fire, where people imagined places they had never actually visited. The campfire became our first classroom, stage, church, and comedy club every single night. Cave paintings were made by firelight, which made the images move, creating the first animation. Science recently discovered another nighttime secret that you have likely experienced in your own life. We are told 8 hours of solid sleep is required, but that is not humanly natural. Waking up alert at 2 a.m. is not wrong. Your body is simply remembering something ancient. This calm, midnight wakefulness is a normal historic part of human existence called the watch. Historian Roger E. Kirsch spent 16 years researching documents that proved we once had 2 sleeps. He found references across centuries to a first sleep and a second sleep, with gaps. People slept 4 hours, woke for a watch period, then finished with 4 more hours. During this quiet watch, people were calm, reflecting deeply while the world remained perfectly still. Neighbors visited, and people enjoyed gentle, unhurried, and completely normal social time during the night. A 1500s manual suggested this calm window was the best time for deep, serious study. A French physician even recommended that couples use this middle-of-the-night window for conceiving children. That is remarkably confident medical advice. But let us get back to the actual science. Historians ignored these references for centuries, unable to imagine a sleep pattern different from ours. Psychiatrist Thomas Vare ran a 1992 experiment removing all artificial light from volunteers' daily lives. They lived through 14 hours of darkness, mimicking how our ancestors lived before artificial firelight. Every participant naturally reverted to 4 hours of sleep, a quiet, wakeful period, then more. Hormone tests showed they produced prolactin, the same hormone released during deep, calm meditation. They described the watch as a distinct meditative state of consciousness most humans have lost. We traded this nightly meditation window for modern, anxious doom scrolling at 2 a.m. every night. Your phone screen tells your brain it is noon, which disrupts your natural biological systems. Back to the predators. 2 million years ago, the night was genuinely and statistically deadly. Leopards did not just snack on us, they specifically and persistently hunted early human ancestors. Fossil skulls show teeth marks at the base of the skull, the leopard's signature kill. Scientists can identify exactly what killed those ancestors 2 million years ago with great accuracy. For a long period, leopards were likely the biggest driver of mortality for early humans. Leopards are silent, fast, and hunt at night with vision 6 times better than ours. Your ancestor was terrified, lacking night vision, and struggling to survive in absolute deadly darkness. Survival meant climbing a tree and praying the leopard would not follow you up there. That fear of the dark is literally in your DNA, from nights spent hiding below. Researchers believe our fear of looking under the bed evolved directly from the leopard threat. It was never irrational. Something in the dark actually wanted to kill you back then. Take a breath. We came incredibly close to never making it as a human species. We survived because of fire and each other. We turned from prey into storytelling predators. The campfire did not just save our lives, it created everything we know as culture. Before light pollution, your ancestors looked up and saw the full, vivid, breathtaking Milky Way. Street lamps began appearing in the 1600s, and the night began to shrink for everyone. Edison's light bulb arrived in 1879, and within one generation, our ancient night was gone. We flipped a switch, calling it progress, while losing our sleep, stories, and deep consciousness. We lost the watch, a meditative state that existed inside every human for countless centuries. Blue light suppresses melatonin, tricking your brain into thinking it is still the middle day. This light dismantles the sleep systems that evolved over millions of years of human history. 1 week of camping resets your melatonin cycle by 2 hours, proving our ancient programming. Your 2 a.m. wake up is not a disorder. It is your body trying to meditate. Instead of panicking, try just lying there in the dark, thinking as ancestors once did. The stories, the two-phase sleep, the stars, and the fear, it is all still inside you. Your body is not failing. It is remembering something very, very old and quite beautiful. Somewhere, an ancestor sits by a fire, watching the Milky Way, contemplating tomorrow's new day. We are the only species that floods the night with light, causing epidemic, widespread anxiety. The night sky was once available to everyone, every night, for 300,000 years. We traded the Milky Way and the watch for light bulbs and a glowing rectangle. We survived the leopard and the dark because we gathered, talked, and built a fire. Every person alive today descended from someone who found the fire and stayed safe together. They passed down the instinct to gather, talk, and make sense of this wild world. Tonight, before you flip that switch, pause. Remember that this light did not always exist. The darkness was once full of predators, stars, and the stories that built our minds. The leopard is gone and the dark is safe, but something ancient still remembers today. We were never meant to fear the night. We were meant to build our fire.